What's up guys, I'm back for some serious SVOU laddering. So the main star of this team I'm going to be using today, which you could see me build live on stream, is this Ursaluna. This specially defensive bulk up protect Ursaluna supported by grassy terrain and healing wish. The team I used on stream had a Hawlucha over an Amherst, but I wanted some more reliable speed and healing wish was really nice as well. Raging Bolt here is really just good at punching holes as well as Specs Iron Crown. The idea of this team is really to punch holes early on or get the team softened up to the place where it can either be cleaned up by priority like Rillaboom or swept late game by Ursaluna. Ursaluna has been known to pop off and sweep entire games from the early game as well, but mostly it is a late gamer. We've got Scarf and Am here just as general speed control and support, Tusk here, a sort of a bulkier helmet support set, and Specs Crown. Mainly Specs Crown is here for two things. One is the stall matchup, and two is the ice matchup. My team is absolutely terrible against ice types, as you can tell. Weavile in particular is really, really scary, and for the most part against when we face those ice types, we do kind of have to Terra to get out of that, which is not a huge problem since nothing on this team is a Terra hog. It's not the worst thing in the world to have to Terra to get out of that, but definitely ice types are not great to see. Now that being said, I have had some ladder success with this team. I'm around 1800 right now, so we're at a good serious range, and I'm going to lock in no stream distractions. I'm going to think through every turn and show you guys some, hopefully, some actually good, crisp playing. Alright, so HF. I love Ursaluna here. Ursaluna looks fantastic. Obviously, we're not super happy to see Curem, but Ursaluna does look very nice. I think, and I believe I've seen this team before, I think this is a physical Curem. I believe I would like to start off just with a Tusk, and we see the Curem lead. Okay, so I'll just go straight into Crown. That's a fairly simple response, and we do get hit right off the bat with Earth Power, which is not great, but it is what it is. I think I'll just Volt Switch here. Great, so that went okay. So I got a few options. We see Earth Power, so it is a special set. It could be mixed, I could have sworn that clicked a different move. I think rocks are fantastic in this matchup, and my opponent does not have removal. Now, we're probably going to see a lot of boots, given that, but I think that's still worthwhile. Now, question is Luna or Bolt here? I think I want to go Luna. Yeah, to block that Volt Switch. And I've got a few options here. One is I start bulking up. Two, I go into Raging Bolt. I think I'm going to go for the bulk up plan, because the Zapdos does have to hit its Hurricanes. There we go. That's what we like to see. That is exactly what we like to see. Now this Body Slam is in 2-shot range, so I think I will just go for it. And here's the great thing. Please don't get confused. Good. If we get staticked, we get Guts Boost, and we do even more. So I will just Body Slam again here. Ursaluna, please. Wonderful. Okay, that's great. Okay, we cannot touch this at all. So, going to respond. I think it makes sense to go, well, part of me wants to go hard Bolt, but the scary thing is Bolt, it looks so nice here. I almost really don't want to let it in. I think a solid other option is going into Rillaboom. Okay, we get hit by a Make It Rain. That is definitely, I think, a modest gold. That's like a very offensive gold, I believe. I think gold naturally outspeeds Rilla, or is it the other way around? Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's modest, so we should outspeed this, and I should be able to just U-turn here, which is nice, because I'm thinking we'll just adjust this calc here. Go to +1, Make It Rain. Okay, never mind. I'm way off. A modest Make It Rain would have done a lot more to Rillaboom, so there's a chance we just get blown up here. So let's think. There's probably a middle ground I can make here, because probably the switch is going to be, well, it might be Iron Moth. I was thinking I could potentially switch in Crown to cover the gold staying in, because if it stays in, it will click Make It Rain again. I think max speed gold is rare. I'm just going to go for the U-turn and hope, and okay, that worked out. This could be a good opportunity. Actually, you know what I really like here? Well, thing is, Tusk might just get Energy Ball. Let me check if Energy Ball... No, yeah, I believe this is a Terra Grass Iron Moth, if I recall correctly from last game. So I think Bolt is appealing here. I think Bolt and Calm Mind makes too much sense to turn down. Likely we'll get the Slowking in, and I can just hit that with a nice big discharge. Or alternatively, we could double CM on the Bolt, so we can kill the Meowscarada. Actually, no, we're not killing Meowscarada with a +2 Thunderclap, so never mind about that plan. Oh, that's really interesting. That's not great. T-Spikes aren't fantastic, but I do think I'm very much okay with getting up more boosts. And I think, let's see, if I get to one more... Why is Discharge doing less? Is Dragon Pulse 85? Okay. I don't know why I thought it was 80. We could go for another, and that would put the Meowscarada into kill range, which is really nice. I think we do go for the one more. I think that makes sense here. Please don't get poisoned. We don't. Wonderful. We'll go for the Dragon Pulse here, hopefully get the kill. Unfortunately, not going to get it even with the level 99. But that's okay, and I will go for a Discharge here just to cover the potential, like, I guess, Terra Fairy. Thunderclap not quite killing. I think Terra Ghost is super worth it here. Terra Ghost and just Dragon Pulse. Or actually, does Discharge? No, Discharge. Yeah, I think Terra Ghost, Dragon Pulse is worthwhile here. And we're going to get Icicle Speared. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, nope, just 3. Okay, cool. That is A-okay. Absolutely just going to Thunderclap here. That's why we boosted up so much, is because that kills and we get the win. Yeah, so my opponent there, T-Spike, does look good against me. I will admit it. And that's also partly why we have Terra Poison Crown for that T-Spike MU against Stall. For those Stall teams that do have T-Spike, we can Terra Poison it, and it becomes pretty much impossible for Stall to kill, which is really nice. And we sometimes just want to save the Terra on Stall for Terra Steel Crown, but it's definitely not mandatory. Yeah, so there, when your opponent gives you an opening like that to just set up, just take it, just go for it. The one risk was if Kyurem did hit a bunch of Icicle Spears there, and I was right, it was mixed. And that's not me being like a genius of deciphering sets. You can't do that with Kyurem. I just faced that guy before, so I happen to know. Or that person, right? I'm trying to use gender-neutral language because there are people of all genders playing on this site. Okay, this will be interesting. This will be interesting. A Sun matchup. I do find Ursaluna very appealing in concept. I like the idea of just leading with it outright. I like Bolt as well. Terra Ghost Bolt looks really good. Yeah, this is a little tricky though, about kind of just how to play this. Rocks, of course, look good. I think Crown is a decent lead, because if the Torkoal leads, we can Volt Switch, and I don't. And something else to note, we do have booster speed on this Tusk. I actually EV'd it specifically, you see, with this 4 attack here, so that we will get the booster speed. Okay, Rabombi lead is interesting. I do think I just go for the Tachyon Cutter here. We're going to get Slowking in. It pains me to see that roll. At the same time, I don't think we're actually going to get Chilly Receptioned on here, because that did a lot for a... No, I guess that did about what we'd expect for a Spadef set. Let me check. Could this be us? Because what's odd to me is that this would be on a Sun team, like in a Chilly Reception Glowking. So I want to check if that damage aligns with like an uninvested AV set. It'd be on the higher end. It would definitely be on the higher end. I think it makes too much sense not to just Tachyon Cutter again. Okay, so we end up getting damage on the Moth, and it's going to be a speed booster. That's okay. I think this is a very easy hard Luna. This is kind of what Luna does. Okay, unfortunately, the boost does happen there. An Energy Ball is still not killing. It would have to Terra, so I think I just stay in and click Earthquake. I think that's pretty much fine here. Okay, and we see the Rabombi come in. Now this is the question. Do we try to bulk up here? This is not a bad time to do it, and the only thing the Rabombi could do is Stun Spore, which would make us stronger. Alternatively, I just go right for the obvious Body Slam and kill it. If we bulk up, we are probably committing to Terra against the Wake, is the scary part. I think we do it. I think we bulk up. I'll protect here to scout with this. Actually, I'll just bulk up again. Moonblast is not doing that much damage. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Unless it ends up being a booster speed Wake, then it could be big. But the reason I did not protect there, and we'll protect this turn just for a little health. But I didn't protect that turn because I was worried about a potential swap to Tusk. And we will just go for the... Well, I guess we don't need to reveal that we're Body Slam. We can just Earthquake here. Cool. We see there we have a chance to kill Wake. Even though we have no attack investment, Ursaluna is just a crazy strong Pokemon. Draco Meteor will not kill even if this thing is modest. I think I do go for the roll to kill instead of the para. Yeah, if this is modest specs, it has a 40% chance to kill. And it's probably not modest. It probably has a 0% chance to kill. And okay, that was modest, but we live and we get off an Earthquake and we do a huge chunk, which is great. And the other thing is we can Healing Wish this up. It's the beauty. It's the beauty of an Am. But for now, let's go into Crown. I don't see this thing switching. Cool. And here, I think... is Psychic Noise going to two-shot the Glow King? Psyshock definitely will, but I don't know if... Psychic Noise is not likely to, so let's just Psyshock. Probably we're going to hit a Torkoal, but I think we're in a commanding enough position that we don't need to be really making reads. Part of me wants to switch into Tusk here, but I'll say let's just go for the Psyshock. I think is I really want Rocks. Rocks are huge. I do think I just stay in here and click Psyshock. Yeah, that was totally fine. We really don't mind Rocks going up. At this stage in the game, it's not super important. And the Moon's booster is consumed, which means Anam is in a huge, like an amazing position here, and that Sun is now on a very strict timer, which is cool as well. And we see that this is a booster special attack Wake, which makes sense. As we saw from the roll, it was modest, so this is definitely going to be a booster special attack Wake. We have a bit of a choice here. Do we sack Luna, or is the plan going to be to Healing Wish it up? I would say I think the Healing Wishing it up plan would be reckless. I think it would be trying to use featured Pokemon versus trying to play well. I believe the Lunasac is the right play, and it would transition perfectly into an Enam Earth Power. That looks really good into my opponent's team. So we will sack Luna here. I do believe it is our worst Pokemon at this point. And we know this is specs from the Ursaluna damage. It's not going to be anything like dumb made up set like Scarf, booster special attack, and we can safely go for an Earth Power here, which I believe, depending on the set, will two-shot Glow King. Yeah, depending on the set. It's looking, and we do just get the kill on Wake. Cool. Okay, Slowking's going to come in here. I would say this is Tusk time. Try to get these hazards off, and unless it clicks Psychic Noise, we're not going to actually die. Now let's see, we get a Choice Scarf, which is, like, totally fine. I'm actually going to, like, we got Booster attacked. I think I just Headlong Rush here, actually. This looks pretty good. Because we don't really need... Well, no. Rocks removed would be very nice. and now, especially now that I'm Scarf, I actually think I will remove rocks because I'm Scarf, because now this Tusk can come in and can do exactly what an Am did, because we can spin here, and then if this Tusk comes in, we can easily respond with an Am. So I always just go right into an Am here, because what we want to prevent, when you're in this dominant position, and make no mistake, I'm in a very dominant position here, you want to ask, how could I possibly lose? How could I possibly lose? And the how I possibly lose in this case is if I start making foolish plays where and that's really good too. If I start making foolish plays where I give the Tusk a chance to bulk up and set up. Now it turned out to be Life Orb, so we're not really scared of the setup possibility anymore. And I will just actually Earth Power here. If the Tusk were to stay in and try to eat it, that would have been totally fine. And I think I'm just going to do that again. I don't feel much of a need to predict here. And Nam's death is completely okay, and it's not a very high value Pokemon now that its Choice Scarf is gone. Okay, so now let's try to sequence this correctly. My opponent still has Terra on the table, and that's really important to remember here, because it means that Moth can pop a Terra Grass. I think the correct play would be to go into Rilla here and just go for a U-turn. Probably into Tusk. The other option is going Tusk and just clicking Headlong right here, which, upon reconsideration, I actually like that better. I think Tusk and just Headlong Rush here makes sense. The only way this really goes downhill is a Shock Terra Flying. And I just don't see that happening. If the Moth comes in, we absolutely click here. Because if this thing, okay, yeah, Terra Fairy will die, and now we can very easily win the game with Rillaboom. We'll click Scarf Headlong Rush first. That Scarf actually turned out pretty nicely. I've seen this trick Scarf Glow King thing on stall, and I kind of get it, but I feel like it's got to be better to trick Black Sludge too, because when you have Scarf, right, you have to trick that away. So that's going to be an easy end game. But yeah, when you've got Scarf, like, you have to trick that away. You can't reasonably play with, well, I suppose you can click Chilly Reception, but definitely not on a Sun team. Okay, this is an interest. I know that I'm familiar with this team. Scarf and Am looks really good because something that's important to note, and I am Terra Fairy oh no, I am Terra Steel now, but this is a Specs Crown. So it's actually not going to be taking Moonblasts. It's going to be taking them okay, but it's not going to be taking them like a champ. I think Crown makes a lot of sense as a lead. I think this is a sample team, so let's actually check this. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's not what we want. There we go. So let's see. This Pult is Hex, so it's not able to stand up to an Iron Crown to clicking Tachyon Cutter. So yeah, I'd say Crown here looks like a really strong lead. If you have access to your opponent's team, use it. That's a pretty simple tip. Okay, I think this is a very simple. I'm going to Volt Switch, and I'm going to bring in Luna. Luna looks really good against my opponent here too. I can very happily bulk up on this. Okay, and we get, unfortunately, immediately confused. I'm going to go for the bulk up here. The odds that we get hit again... Okay, good. That's fine. And here, I think, in this Tusk, what was it again? Yeah, I think I'm okay with damaging this Tusk. Don't think I particularly mind that trade. So I think I'll just go for an Earthquake, and hopefully we don't, and we get confused. All right, let's protect, because I expect this Tusk will just stay in here. So a little bit of extra health won't hurt. And actually, I wonder if we want to bulk up on this. Well, so this is an offensive Tusk. So let's calc how much we're doing. This is a 0 HP Tusk. Okay, and if we get up one more, then we're likely two-shotting. So it does make sense to bulk up again here. I think I'll Earthquake this turn. Okay, so the reason I did that... Oh, wow, was something off about this calc? Why? Oh, it had 220 defense. Okay. That's a little unfortunate, but we are going to get the kill on this Tusk, which is nice. And I think we're actually fairly well poised. I don't think our opponent has anything that can really take us on here. Let's check if this thing has Encore. It does not. Great. So we'll go for Protect. This thing's going to Razor Shell. That is not going to be killing. Even Atomax will not be killing, and we can get the kill with an Earthquake. So unless we get critical hit. Okay, so this one is Encore, unfortunately. Had I known about that, definitely would have played this differently, but most people do not modify these sample teams. I guess I should have known at this ELO it was more of a possibility. So perhaps played recklessly, but at least we're back up to a pretty good health. And the Tusk is dead, which is great for Raging Bolt. So you see Raging Bolt now looks insane against my opponent, and it's got a very nice entry opportunity on the Zapdos. So I want to go Tusk here. It won't eat a Razor Shell well, but it will heavily punish. And this is interesting. I actually think here I'd like to Rapid Spin. I don't think the Pult will come in, and if it does, we can go into Luna. Luna is really good. Bulky, like Leftovers Luna, is great against this type of Wispult. It's kind of what it's best against, because as I said, that Guts boost is amazing. And I do think the Rapid Spin is worthwhile here. The question is to Rapid Spin or Rocks, but I think Rapid Spin. I think getting rid of that would be huge. And okay, we're just going to see the Pult, so nicely played by my opponent there. I think I will just go into Luna, and okay, unfortunately, our opponent, my opponent is playing this pretty well. Gonna just Tech Tier. I'll go into Rilla this time, but the Ceaseless Edge is very likely. At the same time, well, okay, no, I think the Ceaseless Edge is extremely likely, so I will go into Tusk here, so I can get that damage. I'm really surprised to see that, honestly, I really am. But so be it. Yeah, that Encore was unfortunate. I guess gotta be more awake and aware of set changes. I will say, I don't think Crown dies. I don't think Crown dies to a Sucker Punch. Yeah, Crown's not dying to a Sucker Punch, so I do have a really strong Volt Switch here that looks really good against my opponent. And we get the Iron Crown, which is going to eat that, and not so well. This is a little bit tough. Enam EP, I don't know if that does it. So this is not a Assault Vest. It's... Okay, so we're likely to kill, but not by a super comfortable margin. Probably should have just gone for Rocks with Tusk earlier. Maybe in hindsight, that was probably a better, smarter option. So one interesting choice would be going Rillaboom to get Grassy Terrain and then going back into Crown. Waging War with the Crown, double Crown situation, and then we could potentially go for the tie. I think Enam EP, because if the Enam EP fails, I can go into Luna on the Zapdos. So I think I like Enam EP here. Okay, I did not think the Zapdos would come in hard, honestly. I thought it would be a little more scared of, like, sub-C. Well, no, I guess sub wouldn't happen, realistically, on an Iron Crown. Let's hope... okay, interesting. Garg, just gonna come in there. I think I'm about to just get Salt Cured. This is a Curse Garg, right? Yeah. So I'll just Earthquake. I think I'm happy to just take my EQ damage and move on with my day. How much can this thing do with a Razor Shell? It will kill. It's probably going to go for a Spike here, though, so I'm going to. This thing never clicks Ceaseless Edge. Good on my opponent. They keep playing this very well. I think I still have the edge in this endgame, though. Going to go for a... So I've got a lot of potentially strong ways to finish this out. I think the move here is to Volt Switch. Okay. And I will go into Enam, and I think here just Moonblast. Because if the Crown comes in, I can go into my Crown. My key Pokemon in this endgame will be Raging Bolt. And I can go into Rilla here. Okay, nicely done. Hurricane will kill. So I'm going to go into Crown. Gonna get volted on. I'm getting gamed on, folks. I admit it. Now, okay, here's the good news. This Pult actually cannot kill me, unless my opponent has changed this Pult set as well. But yeah, Hex is not doing it. Hex is not doing the trick, so I can go for a nice Tachyon here and put myself in a really good spot. Probably the Aatrox gets sacked here. Okay, we see the Crown, and I will just go for another one. We're happy to get that damage. Please don't get any critical hits. Okay, good. So I actually have a few options here. I could go Rilla, and then I could Healing Wish this Crown back up, which is definitely an option. But we're going to get Hexed, probably here. And my opponent's played this very well. Respect, for sure. Been calling out, because I think they knew I had the matchup, and they were calling out a lot of my safe plays, and they were getting it right. Let's just see, I'm trying to think what the path is here to the victory. I think Rillaboom switch makes sense here. Okay, we get U turned on. That's not great, but it's acceptable. Fortunately, okay, I think it's a tie, I believe, with the Aatrox. If my opponent does decide to go Aatrox here. I think the Hurricane will come off here, and I believe it's time to go into Bolt and push that advantage. Okay, we see the T-Wave. Good, I finally got to play right, and we're absolutely clicking Dragon Pulse here. There's really no reason to click anything else. I'm shocked we got that. I'm very happy we got that, but I'm shocked. At this point, I do think we are going to be restoring the Crown. And as strange as a play this is, I think I actually do go into Rillaboom here on the Salt Cure, and then I click Wood Hammer, which I believe will put me in a position for a guaranteed win. Because this should do just enough that it won't kill me, but I will definitely die to Salt Cure plus Wood Hammer Recoil. Interesting. I wonder if I'll still die if to a Wood Hammer. I guess it'll effectively be the same thing. All I really need is the Zapdos Super Chipped. Because then from here I go into Crown and Tachyon. Yeah. I think this is the path to the victory. So the idea is that now this is chipped, I can go into Crown, I can Tachyon here, force this to Terra Water. And then once it Terra Waters, Raging Bolt wins. And it looks like it's a very slow, or not very slow, but a slower end of Zapdos, so we're just going to get the kill outright, which is certainly good with me. Do I stay in here? See, the one, I think I do. And unfortunately, I think that was a tie, and we are going to lose that tie. We are going to lose that tie. I believe Enam Healing Wish into Crown here is the right move. And then we just click Tachyon. I think, assuming this Garg is the same Terra type, and I do think Terra Water makes a lot of sense with this team. I think that is the path to victory. So we'll do that. It's a shame we missed that tie, because I believe that was a speed tie with that Wood Hammer there. It definitely would have been a free win if we didn't lose that, but we got to expect our opponent to play well. Healing Wish. And we'll go into this. And I'm trying to think if Bolt has enough health. I wonder if actually, no, we always Tachyon here. Okay, and we do see that, and I stay in here. And actually, funny enough, we're not going to Terra this, so we actually Terra Ghost, Terra Steel here, excuse me. And I think we do end up, ooh, it'll be close. We definitely Terra Steel here in Tachyon Cutter. I think my opponent made a mistake by cursing there. Because I believe now we'll get the kill with Discharge. I did kind of forget that this is an Earthquake Garg. Those are pretty rare. Kind of threw me off a little bit, to be honest. Okay, actually, no, I think there's a better play. Alright, I'm being foolish. I actually switch here into Bolt. And I'm going to hope this thing clicks Recover. Good. And now I'm pretty sure, because I still live on entry, now I can discharge this, and then I can Volt Switch for the win, because this Atrot does not have any priority. I think Specs Volt Switch would have killed. Yeah, it's looking like it. Yeah, that would have probably done it. If I had died there, it would have likely done it. And we definitely discharge here, and then I think we are locked in, confirmed for the win, because I can actually Thunderclap, and I will PP stall the Atrot, so we actually will win this game with Bolt, which is kind of a fun fact. Yeah, because the Atrot's only way to not get hit by the Thunderclap will be to Encore, and I have more PP of Thunderclap than it has of Encore, so this is an unwinnable situation for this Atrot. Good game. Very close. Very well played by Sire Claude. So I will say, I definitely lost that game as far as playing goes, but I had a better matchup, so I knew I could afford to lose plays, and that's why I took the safer route. Now, did I play this optimally? No, but I'm glad I did see in that endgame that better way to win. So the good thing about endgames is and now you see it has to attack, right? Because it's only got attacks. So this is what I meant by, well, we're guaranteed going to win the game with Bolt. GG, very well played. I won with Volt Switch. Not max HP, but given it lived on 7, roll was not in your favor. Yeah. I think I'm 128 or something like that. Yeah, so that was a very, very competitive game. So yeah, that end game there, I just kind of want to go back to that and take a quick look. So you see, though, how big of a deal it was to kill that Tusk early on with my Luna, because I was able to just start discharging and Volt Switching. Like, getting that ground type killed was amazing. But yeah, or actually recording competitive games. I like to try to respond to people. I know some YouTubers ignore them. It always kind of makes me like, oh, that's sad when they do. But yeah, very good playing. Very good playing for my opponent. I was impressed with it. They did a lot of what you're supposed to do when they have a bad matchup, because this is a bad matchup, and they played it very nicely. But yeah, when I was in this endgame situation here, now granted, if the Garg had just gone and like killed me here, I would have won with Bolt, so it wouldn't have been like a throw. But I'm glad I did realize sooner. I want to see if there's a better way I could have gone about this. So an AM Healing Wish, yeah. So I was in error. Actually, no. Iron Crown here was right, because I did need to force the Terra Water. Had I gone Bolt, I would have lost here for sure. So I did need to do this. I did need to force it. At this point, though, I think the play... Yeah, at here, I think the correct play would have been Bolt. Although I suppose staying in Terra Steel Tachyon didn't hurt me too much, but yeah, probably switching into Bolt a turn earlier would have been better. But yeah, overall there, this going into Bolt here put me in a near guaranteed win. The only way in which this wasn't a guaranteed win was if the Garg... And actually, no, I do like the Terra Steel Tachyon, because it really pushed, it very much encouraged the Garg to recover here, which brought me into this. So it was a little bit of a nuanced endgame, but yeah, definitely a fun one. Really well played by Sire Claude. Good stuff. All right. Manganese Carlson, interesting. This looks like a great game for Luna, especially with Terra Poison, because I'm hoping that Corv will think it can deal with the Luna, and then it'll get, Lunadon, because we can Terra Poison and actually beat Bulk Up Corv. I would love, I would love to be able to knock it first, if possible. I actually want to lead with Luna here, because I'm thinking either the Rye or the Glow King will lead, and if the Rye leads, I'm happy to stay in and Body Slam, and if the Glow King leads, I'll probably also Body Slam, because I don't think Glow King ever stays in on Ursaluna. Something else to know about this team, my max HP Helmet Tusk is designed to trade with other Tusk. Okay, and we see that, and we're just going to Body Slam. Okay, we're going to see Nasty Plot come out immediately, which is interesting. We get a critical hit, we don't get the other piece, but can't really complain. I'm going to Protect here to see what kind of move this thing wants to use, and it will be an Ice Beam, which, depending on the set, we could survive. We could survive, it's possible. I don't think I want to risk this Pokemon. I think I'm going to go into Crown and then double an Am. Let's see, and that's not LO, so I'm going to go into an Am here. If an Am dies, that would kind of suck, but okay, it looks like it's going to survive, and we will just go for, I think EP makes sense here. They'll at least cover the glow. Ooh, we get a nice little critical hit too. Certainly no complaints there. And Ursaluna's healthy, so I'd say that lead situation went pretty swimmingly for us overall. I don't think I want to stay in and just click it again here. I don't think I want to do that. I'm a fan of, I think I like Tusk here. Probably just going to Chilly Reception, but okay, we see an attack come out. Interesting. I will just go for the rocks as we see Corv come in. That makes sense. I really want this thing knocked. Do I want it knocked enough to go Rillaboom and click knockoff? That is a different question, isn't it? I think I do, actually. Okay, and I'm just going to knock here. Yeah. Get Helmet off, probably an EDU turn, hopefully not a Brave Bird. Yeah, that's okay. Not great, but that's acceptable for sure. And I think here, now that we know this thing's set, it's not Life Orb. What are we going to call this thing? Probably HDB. Or let's say Expert Belt, so we're not giving ourselves unnecessary leeway. The thing is, Crown looks really good here, so I'm not sure I want to be throwing it away. Let's go Crown again. And let's go in Am again. I don't think our opponent will see that one coming. Yeah, they didn't. Now, the question is here, I actually think I'm liking the option of going for a Healing Wish. To kind of just set that up for the future, and then going into Luna and starting the bulk ups. I think that makes sense. Yeah, because now we're going to bulk up. And what I'm thinking is, because now this thing's knocked, which is huge. You cannot underestimate how big it is that this Corv is knocked, because now we can safely kind of beat it in that drawn-out, extended war. But the fact that now, I'm thinking we'll probably switch into Bolt so it doesn't pop the Healing Wish, once we've hopefully traded with the Tusk. Okay, we see a Azumarill come in. This will do a chunk. I won't lie, this will do a chunk. We have not a great chance to kill. I think odds are better with Body Slam. The question is, do we want to... Well, let's see, hold on. This is Earthquake on a max HP Azu, which is probably not. So I think we will go for the EQ here and just eat the hit. Okay, unfortunately that did not do... Unfortunately we do get Defense Drop, which sucks. And unfortunately it lives. That's really bad. Oh, that's pretty tragic, to be honest. That's pretty tragic. Yeah, that's... I don't know what to say about that one, guys. That is not what you want to see. The Defense Drop... Because if we didn't get Defense Dropped, I'd be happy to stay in and eat another one. But now if we Terra Poison, we really just invite in the Tusk and give up that resource, which is terrible. I think we definitely protect for health here, but I think we just have to eat the other Liquidation, which is terrible. I was not... no, that was really bad. That was really bad. That was probably a super low roll too. These usually run speed. But oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, that's just going to be a ton of damage and there's nothing we can really do about it. Okay, I think this is a good bolt time. And I think Ice Beam will not kill here. Oh, actually it might. Let's Thunderclap. Well, no. Surely Glow King enters. Let's go for Calm Mind, yeah, because I was going to say, surely the Glow King comes in. And this, I think, is AV, so we're just going to go for a Discharge here. Actually, I think it is AV, but we're just going to Discharge here. Okay, we get that, and now we'll go for the Dragon Pulse here. Solid chance to para, which is nice, and we get the kill, great. So we've got a few options here. Thing is, we're going to have to use this. We actually could potentially get up Luna like naturally using Grassy Terrain Healing. The scary thing is if this Tusk starts getting out of hand. I think we do switch Tusk. I don't see going for a bulk up here. Surely you attack here. Yeah, and we do just see the Headlong Rush. Unfortunately, a critical hit. That's obviously not what you want. But we can go for a nice little Ice Spinner here. And we see the Corv come in. Okay, like that's fine. I'll go for a Stealth Rock. Okay, and a U-turn. That's great. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know why you would do that ever, but it did it. And cool. As I said, this is designed to trade. This is designed to trade with other Tusk. This is what it was born to do. Okay, and we'll just go for this. And now we'll go into Luna. And we'll protect. We're going to get this thing up. Okay, it's Brave Bird. Interesting. Brave Bird warrants a little crown helping. And okay, great to see that it did not go for... try to light me up there. I'll go for a Volt Switch here. Okay, I didn't expect that, but we can go into our own Great Tusk here, which is fine. Okay, and we are max speed, so this will be at worst a tie. I think we go for it, and great. Now this thing is alive, potentially to take on Darkrai, which is super cool. I think the move here is we sack something, and I think that something is Crown. This poor Darkrai can finally... Oh, thought it was going to click the other move, but okay. Let's go into this, and I'm just going to go for the Glide. I don't think I need to predict, and that went great. So the thing is, if I got the prediction wrong, I was in a pretty okay position, because it wouldn't have been that hard to just go into... What am I trying to say here? I was still in a pretty good spot, because it just would not have been that hard to switch into my Great Tusk on the Glide, and we could have gotten helmet damage, helmet chip on the Corv would have been really nice, and then we would have also established G-Terrain to heal up Ursaluna. So that's why I felt comfortable gliding there, because if I got the read wrong, I was like, oh well, that's okay. Now against this, I actually think I'm going to Terra Grassy Glide, because I don't see myself using Terra on anything else, and I think this would be a good use of my Terra. Or the other question is, do we go... I could go hard Luna here and then go into my Tusk and Headlong Rush. That could be an option too. What I find strange is that this thing hasn't used anything. That is odd. I think the play is Luna, because I can go into Tusk and Headlong Rush. Okay, we're going to get Draco. That is A-okay. That is A-okay. Actually, that is a little scary. So I maybe should have not been so hasty to sack Luna, because we're now in a little bit of a scary position dealing with the Corv. I will say I think Rilla is a pretty fine play here. I think Rilla is a pretty fine player. I don't think you stay in, and either way, I think we can U-turn, and we go into Bolt. I I think I will just Dragon Pulse here. The chip will be really nice. And I think we can afford to sack. Okay, and we catch it. Yeah, so I was going to say, we can afford to sack. If we were to stay in and the core of U-turned, like that's a situation we can handle. And I think I have a guaranteed win path now by sacking Tusk and then going after this thing, Draco's the Tusk. I can then go Rilla, unless it turns out to be like Scarf. Obviously, that would be pretty bad. But not much you can do there. And I actually think I might be able to just Terra Ghost out of range. But no, actually, because Scarf wouldn't kill Rillaboom if it drops. So I think I just go sack Tusk here, go into Rilla, U-turn, and that should be a guaranteed win, as far as I can tell. Okay, interesting. The play here is always to actually rock up, because it'll force the Corv to stay in. I think the play is always to rock up here, because now if the Bolt comes in, it'll take that chip, unless it's like a Boots Bolt. Yeah, so we're going to get U-turned on. Let's see. It is not a Boots Bolt, so I was correct in doing that. And we will, as I said, we will just go into Tusk. There's no reason to not go into Tusk here. See the Thunderclap again, and our opponent's just going to forfeit. So yeah, we played that in-game pretty safely, and that turned out well. All right, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up. As always, team link will be in the description. I hope this was helpful to you guys. I hope my thought process was kind of explained, why I was taking risks, why I wasn't. And we got a lot of really interesting end games this time. So if you're struggling with end games, I hope this has kind of helped you see how to safely do that, how to manage that. Now, I will say this end game was not immaculately played by me. Once I was down to these two, I actually should have considered the fact. What I didn't factor in was that the Bolt, I was thinking it was going to be a standard Calm Mind variant, which was foolish of me because this thing did not have a booster energy. So what I actually should have done is preserved my Ursaluna, because with Terra Poison and special bulk up and just like grassy terrain healing, that would have been a much safer way to win this game than I did. By letting that go and letting that drop to a Draco, I opened myself up to this potentially disastrous outcome. So I don't think I played this perfectly, but definitely after that error, I think I did my best to make up for that mistake. And that's the other thing, always be growing, always be learning. I make errors all the time. Very few people, even at an absolute top level, go through a game and play it absolutely perfectly. But when you do make a mistake, you've got to do your best to make up for it and keep playing well and work with the tools you have. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. As always, all that really helps out a lot, and I will see you guys next time.